Hey traders, John Hal here. You know I'm your number one market update guy, right? When it comes to these markets, right? I'm your number one. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty guys, because you know that we know, right? That I'm your number one for your market updates, all right? Because that's why you come here for, because I'm that number one. I'm giving away a free trading course. If you haven't done so yet or you don't know, then I've actually recently recorded, which is just last week, a brand new trading course, walking you through the biggest foundations that goes into a good trader, the things you must be watching out for, the mistakes you're making, the chart reading mastery stuff as well too, right? My trading system and a whole bunch of down and country goodness as well too. So first thing in the description, guys, I'll go to johnsfreegift.com. Go get that free trading course, guys, and get the help you need. So what happened with the stock market today? Spaghetti-o, right? The really interesting thing that you'll notice about, and there is a truck that looks like it's about to hit something. Anyway, straight back to the markets. Focus, John. Focus. Oh, look, squirrel, right? There's a really interesting thing that is happening with the markets today. And I'm noticing what's going on with across these markets. And there is a thing called momentum in the markets. Okay, let me explain what I mean here. There's a thing called momentum in the markets. And what I mean by that is this, is that if we have a look at what the markets are doing and what the markets are saying, if we have a look at all the indices, and this is where you can never take a blatant blank statement and have it across the board of all markets. One of the things that I find as a coach, right, as a teacher, and is that if I say, oh, the S&P is doing this, then if the S&P looks bullish today, here we go. They'll instantly take that blank statement of what I said on the S&P, and they go, oh, that means all the stocks in the S&P are going to be doing X, Y, Z. And the answer is no, that's not the case, right? The answer is that the individual stocks. So if you're trading the markets, don't ever have because the S&P is doing something, doesn't mean that the stocks can be doing something completely different. There's plenty of stocks in downtrend. Netflix. I'll talk about Netflix in just a minute as well too. But actually, you know what? Let me actually bring on Netflix here. The biggest thing when you're looking at markets in general, guys, is trend analysis. I always talk about this, but if your stock is in a downward trend, don't be trying to buy into it. Wait for the market to start to kick back in again, right? So the big thing here, and I hope some people didn't just be buying the dip, right? Look at this here: high, lower high, and another lower high, and the market's down here. Don't ever be buying into a downward trend. Never. Don't ever buy into a downward trend. Even if you look at the long-term buy and hold something, don't ever buy into a downward trend. Wait for the market to tell you, because this thing can keep making lower highs all the way down to the big fat zero, all right? Anyway, there's that Netflix thing. So let's go back to the markets here. So looking at, Netflix down 35%. So looking at these markets, and let me explain something here. There's a thing called momentum in the markets, okay? There's a momentum thing that happen in the markets. And it's more about what we call the strength in the move, okay? And so let me explain something here. If we have a look at a market, if you have a market that makes a move up, let's just say we're going to, like if I draw a line, right? If I draw a line from here to there, we can see that that's the move up. That's the move up. That's the move up. Get it? You get what I'm trying to say, right? So if we have a move up like this, and that could consist of maybe a week, maybe a couple of weeks. But then we have a move that looks like this. You get what I'm trying to say, right? Actually, you know what? Let me go do that again, right? If we have a move that looks like that, right, where it has a strong move up, right? But the momentum on the down leg, so we had a strong move up, but the momentum on the down leg looks something like this. Notice how that's more like a V shape, right? Because we had strong move up, but we also had a strong move down. Now, why is that important? Because the buyers and sellers are fighting it out there. There's no clear dominant winner. Now, guys, what I'm teaching you right now is like an advanced short-term trading technique. Okay, again, if you want more stuff like this, go get that free trading course. Just go get the help you need. Okay, because I promise you, the very first video in that free trading course is about 30 minutes long, and it walks you through all the biggest mistakes you're making, but also how to overcome them. So if you can just stop doing the mistakes you're making right now, you're so far ahead of everyone else. Anyway, so we see we have a strong move up, but we have more like a V shape movement, right? So therefore the buyers and sellers, there's no clear winner out of these yet. Okay, there's no clear winner. We have this buying leg up here, and then we have this selling leg here. So if we have a look at the markets as a momentum, right? Again, this is for short-term trading. For long-term stuff, like I talk about my long-term stuff with the psychology of the markets and the interest rates and the inflation and the debt and the QE and all that sort of stuff. That's more like bigger picture stuff. Those things take many months and sometimes years to really filter through the system, right? But the short-term stuff I'm talking about here is what I'm always looking for. Who's in control of the markets and what's really going on. So if we have this momentum, right? Again, you can apply this to anything out there. We have momentum in the markets. We have a strong move up. We have a strong move down. This scenario here, there's no clear sign of either one side being more dominant than the other. So there's no real clear picture with that. But what if we had a very strong move up again, like we had this move here, but then suddenly we didn't have the V shape. We had something looking like this. So notice how if we have this buying, so this is the buying leg here. See how strong that move up, right? We had a very strong move up. But remember, this is a strong selling leg down, right? Because we're going to see how that's a very strong selling leg down. But what happens if we get something like this, where the market, it does go down, but it's going down very slowly, right? It's slowly going down. So this will be the selling leg. So if we look at the last two legs of these markets, what are we looking at? We're looking at the strength of that move. We can see the buying leg here was very strong to the upside, right? It's a very steep move to the upside. But then suddenly the sellers came in, but notice how it was just a very slow move down. It wasn't a V-shaped pyramid shape, right? Fast up, fast down. It was fast up, but then it was just slow down. That tells me, if I'm looking at the last two legs as is in the markets, that tells me that we had buyers are strong through here, but the sellers are trying to sell it down, but the sellers are weak. What does that tell me? That tells me that there's a high probability that when we see that, we're now likely to get what? We're now likely to get this buying leg come back in again, and we do something like this. So it's all about the momentum in the market and shifting. And the reason why I bring that up is because if we have a look at the S&P 500, what do we have here? It's really interesting, right? Really, really interesting. We have a strong move up, and then we have a strong move down. See how it's more like a pyramid shape? Okay, cool. Let's go to the Nasdaq. Guys, I'm going. Is it okay if I go a bit advanced on you right now? Right, strong move up, but look at this here. Strong move down, like a pyramid shape, right? Interesting. But not all indices are created equal. But look what's happening with the Dow Jones. We had what? We had a strong move up from there to there. And then we had what? Notice how it's not like a pyramid shape, right? A pyramid shape is what? This. See how that's a pyramid shape? And then we have like a pyramid shape here to here, right? The pyramid shape. Notice how we're going up, but then notice how this move here is very slow on the downside, and now we're getting a break up. We had like a bit of a resistance point through there. So the purpose of me telling you that is that the Dow Jones, out of all the indices, it shows that there is more money filtering in through the top 30 stocks than there is the top 500 and also the Nasdaq stocks right now. It just shows you that there is so much more money filtering through the big daddies of the markets, the big 30 stocks there, because you can see here the S&P 500 did this, and so did the Nasdaq, and now we're trying to pick back up. So looking at the markets and looking at what's going on here in the markets, you can see that that's what's going on here. So the Dow Jones is the one for me that if I bring up some trend lines, you can see there's actually a few trend lines here as well too, right? We have this overall level of support and resistance, which is right through there. That 34,000 level was a major support, then resistance. Now it's come back down support, and now we're holding it back up again. And then you can see here also we had this sort of resistance line, which was major resistance back here, now support. And then we also had obviously my short-term momentum trend line, which was this one right here. This one right here, right? And then now we're broken up. So it tells me that the one that has the most strength behind it is the Dow Jones out of all the indices. And the momentum is just starting to slowly pick up. So I wonder what... We had a bit more volume coming into today as well too. Let's go have a look at the... Yeah, look at this here. Look at the DIA. I'm going to the DIA because this is obviously the ETF. And you can see if I bring up the last 3 months worth of data, actually, let me zoom in a bit. Notice the volume coming into today, right? And again, look at this here. Notice how this is not a pyramid, right? We had a strong move up. And look at this here. Slow move down, right? And then now look what's happening. We're starting to break out with volume behind the DIA. So that tells me there's a high probability we're now starting this next upward leg. Now, what would be the thing to tell me this upward leg is coming to an end? I like to use moving averages. So let's just see if I can find a one with just... Do I have just one with... Oh yeah, there we go. Cool. All right. So this upward leg, if I'm looking for something to say, okay, what is this upward leg here on the Dow Jones? Or we could actually go to the Dow Jones itself, right? This upward leg, what would tell me that this upward leg is now running out of steam? Well, I like to use a 9 moving average, right? So when the market breaks up, it goes up, bounces off it. Look at this here. As soon as we close below it, that's when we knew we actually this upward leg through here, short-term trading stuff, okay, is running out of steam, running out of momentum. Now we've dropped down through here. Look at this here. Drop down. Now we're getting a close above through here. So now we're actually here. So what would be the first sign that I'd be looking for to say, okay, this upward leg is now running out of steam? Well, this moving average would be doing this. You'd need to see a close below this moving average to say, okay, this moving average or this market is now running out of steam. So we may get something like this, coming up like this, right? Something like that. And then the market come up. And then we get a close below the market, the moving average does something like, oh, look, this upward leg is now running out of steam. Same to here, right? Up here, market ran up. As soon as we started to get the closing below the moving averages, guess what? This upward leg is now running out of steam. Same for the down leg, right? Down. As soon as we get a close above, we know that this downward leg is running out of steam. This is all about, this whole session today, guys, is all about momentum in the markets. So there we go, guys. There's actually a bit of a mini masterclass for you on momentum in the markets, and these are the patterns that I'm always watching for. It's one of the reasons why I liked the Dow Jones more than the S&P and the 500, the S&P and the Nasdaq yesterday, is because we had a much more dominant pattern. As I've been speaking about all along in this video. Let's actually go look at the actual gold and silver. So I'm still really bullish with gold and silver, guys. Let me go bring up the moving average here. All right. I'm still really bullish gold and silver. I've talked about this before in the past as well too, that we've got a very strong trend movement to the upside. Yes, we're getting a very short-term pullback. On an absolute short-term level when it comes to gold right now, again, this is short-term stuff. Long-term stuff, guys, gold's gone to 5,000. Actually, at least 3,000. I have at least a 3,000 target. Short-term, guys, we can get some shaking and baking. Shaking and baking, baby! That's what the market does, right? It shakes and bakes. And then and the people that are very emotional about the position every single day, it's like shake it and bake, shake it and bake. the thing is this, is that we're getting this whole level through here was definitely a very strong area of resistance. Let's go back to the hourly chart here for a minute on gold. You actually can see we're actually holding this level here. So on a short-term level, we want to get back above this 1900 level, and we want to start to see this thing get back above there. We go back to the daily charts again. That'll be that level through there. So on a short-term level, we want to see this thing get back above. But what's happening right now? What is going on right now when we're actually looking at the markets? Well, when we're looking at the trend analysis, actually, let's just go to this here, right? Yeah, we're looking at the trend analysis. What do we have? We have low, high. We also have some sort of a higher low through here. That was a lower high. We've now had a higher high. Guess what we're probably likely to be getting here now? Right? Now, obviously, there's no guarantees. All right? If you're looking for a guarantee, then just hide in the corner. Get your mum to make you a little cup of tea and a bicky, right? Have a blankie, and then you're guaranteed to be absolutely just fucking miserable. Because you're like, what's life all about? Life is so boring, right? But the thing is, there's probabilities, right? If we're looking at and that's what trading is all about. You can have your blankie if you want, but just you obviously know it's all about probabilities, right, guys? That's why you never risk a larger percent. Like, even with all the positions I got in the market right now, even when I say gold's going to the moon and so is the stock market and melt up and all that sort of stuff, guess what, guys? I've only got a small percent risk on my account. You know, it's like if the whole world goes belly up, guess what? My account's down 20%. I'm all good to go. All right, so there we go. Some people like, YOLO, no YOLO, okay? Because I know some people that YOLO'd with margin in the good old cryptos last year, all right? And now they're like, oh man, I lost everything and more. So low, higher low, we could be getting, this is a higher low through here. We could just be getting another higher low through here. And the top of all that, remember I said before, if we have a look at the moving average, what is the moving average telling us? It's strong to the upside. So we still have strong momentum behind this. I would not want to be trying to short gold right now because you have like an 80% probability of being wrong. Looking at now with silver, and the same sort of thing that's happening with silver as well too. Actually, let's just bring up the last 1 year worth of data. All right, data. Just a little bit less with one day. And what I'm seeing through here, guys, is I'm starting to see an actual shift in trend, right? Remember I said before about the momentum in markets? Look at this here, very strong move up. But then look at this here. Notice how we actually had like a very just sort of more of like a weak, and it's actually more like a weak pullback, right? So we had a strong move up from here to here, strong move up like that. And then we had a very weak pullback. Remember I said before about the angles? This is more like, see here, this is a pyramid. See how the market's going straight up and then straight down? That's more like a pyramid. This one here on silver, again, I'm just teaching momentum here from straight up to straight down and then straight up to straight down like that. Notice how we did get like a bit of a pyramid, right? But it's more like this here, isn't it? So we had a move up from there to there, and then we had a move down from there to there. Notice how it's more of a slower movement. It's not like a V shape. This one here is a V shape through here, as you can see. Once again, this one here is a V shape there, like there. Notice how we're not getting that, right? We're getting more of a slower. If we had to use the momentum on the other side, look at this here. We had a strong move down, and then we had what? A very weak movement, weak sideways. We didn't get a very strong move up, did we? No, we got a very weak sideways. And then we got what? Strong selling again, and then a very weak sideways, and then we got strong selling again, right? And then look what happened. We got a very weak what? If we look at the angles, right? See how this is strong selling? And then now we had weak buying through here. Weak buying simply means it's just very, very, the angle of it. And then we went through it again and again and again, right? So it's more like the angles of the markets. And angles, all that simply means, guys, is that I'm just looking at seeing which one's more dominant out of the two legs. If we had this strong move down and then a very weak move up, that shows me strong sellers, weak buyers, which shows me we're probably going to go through a strong selling period again. We went through a strong selling. This is the selling leg. This is the buying leg. Again, guys, I'm going advanced on you here, so try to bear with me here. You might have to watch this a few times. All right, strong selling leg into a buying leg. But you can see the buying leg was very weak, right? It wasn't very strong. We didn't get a very strong move up, did we? And then guess what happened? Boom, we had a strong selling leg again. Flip it on its head, we're getting the opposite. We're getting a strong selling, weak buying. So we're probably going to get something like that, right? We're going to move up, come back down. And that's what's going on now with silver. And now we're getting low. We're getting a higher low. We could be getting some sort of a higher low before we start to see this thing move back up again on the good old silver. So that's actually what's going on with silver there. Silver actually just had a nice hold through there. I wouldn't be too worried about that there, but we are starting to get a bit of shifting momentum on the upside. Let's have a look at the mining sector. The mining sector holding quite strong today. Freaked people out a little bit yesterday, but a bit of a down move. Now we're just going. Now we're just sort of just hovering around sideways. If we have a look at the support and resistance lines, which is just actually a lot on there, isn't there? You can see that we definitely did have a bit of a pullback. But once again, what's happening here, guys? What's the trend? Low, higher low, higher low. There's probably going to be another high low here before we continue up. Remember I said before about Netflix, never buying a downward trend. Never try to short an uptrend. Like you're trying to short gold right now, the market's telling you it's an uptrend. Wait for the market to turn around, right? If gold's going to go down and we're going to crash and we're going to do all that sort of stuff and gold's going to go to zero, like some people say, it's like, wait for the market to turn around. So GDX, the same sort of thing as well too. We're getting these higher lows all the way up. A bit of an update today on GDX. Let's have a look at this here. Yeah, not really much going on there. We're still not out of the woodworks yet from the GDX perspective. SILJ, again, what are we getting through here? The SILJ, we've got this low, higher low. We've got some sort of a higher low, some sort of higher low. Is this going to be another high low before we start to see a very nice move up? We've got this higher high compared to these highs through here. So we did get a higher high. What's going to happen through here? We're starting to get very, very, very messy through here. So let's go have a look through there. Yeah, and then also the SIL as well too. Came down, found major support at that level. We had a bit of a bounce. Okay, so we had a bit more extra volume coming into the SIL market there. So there we go, guys. It's momentum is shifting in the market. And especially on the Dow Jones, as I said before, and you start to get these clear pictures. So I wouldn't be too worried about these markets, guys. All in all, what this all means is that the Dow Jones is the strongest one out of all the indices. So it shows us a lot of money filtering in through to the top 30 stocks. More like, so that there. And then also gold and silver's had a little bit of a pullback, but they are in an upward trend. So I wouldn't be really worried about that. And just before I leave, guys, let's go have a look at the good old Tesla. And Tesla, a bit of a selling today across, because I knew that there was earnings today. I don't know what the earnings did because I didn't actually see it, but we got a bit of a pullback today. Yeah, I actually see Tesla probably getting ready for once we actually if Tesla can, let's actually see if Tesla can hold where we are right now. Let's go to the yearly chart, maybe a bit more. Right, if Tesla can hold here and we start to create a higher low and we start to break out, right? If we can get a higher low here and we start to see this thing break out like this, then that's going to be very, very beautiful because we've had a lot of time going sideways here. And so therefore, that could mean, guys, we're getting ready for a very, very, very nice movement to the upside in Tesla there. So there we go, traders. Hope you like this market update / little mini class. Again, guys, the short term, the momentum stuff that I talked about today is really, really, really important to gauge what's really going on in the markets, because it really gives you a bit of strength, right? Just like as I was talking about here, I was talking about like momentum. I'm always looking for these things, right? We get what? We get a strong move up. See how we got a strong move up here with Tesla? Then we got what? A very weak pullback. We didn't get that's a strong pullback, right? We had a strong move up and then a strong move down. That's more like a pyramid shape. But when we get a strong move up and then we get more like a slow move down, see here the angle is much slower than fast is up. That's fast. That's fast. This is slow. This is slow. See how it's more like a slow, right? If you're in a roller coaster, you'd be going down really quickly. But this one's slow up, slow down. So as you can see, look what happened here. Fast up, slow down, fast up. Then we did what? Then we actually started to go really just sideways through here. But notice how the overall movement was slow down, fast up, slow down. Then we went through a fast up again. And it's these points right here that I'm looking to trade after we get the fast up, slow down, then the break. Fast up, slow down, and then the breakthrough here, it shows me we're getting ready to go for another fast up. So there we go, traders. Make sure you grab that free trading course that I've actually just brand new trading course that I've just recently recorded. Very first link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.